Now in this video, we're going to be talking about dividing algebraic terms. So hopefully the video won't be too long, but the concepts are very similar to what we learnt in multiplying algebraic terms. So going straight into a question here, I will consider, let's go, first of all, just to show us how to formalize this type of thing. If I'm dividing anything algebraically, so say, I don't know, 3a divided by b, a simpler way to write this in algebra, and with this particular question, there's no real common factors between 3a and b, but just to show you how we can essentially express these things, in algebra, we always write divisions as fractions. So this thing here, I can rewrite as 3a over b. And this is just a simplified way to express this thing here, just without the division sign. In the same way we write, for example, 2 times y as 2y. So it's very simple. In algebra, this is just shorthand. Now, this example didn't actually require us to do that much. So let's jump in with another one where we can actually see what we end up doing when dividing algebraic terms. So let's go here, 4x squared divided by 2x. Okay, so once again, I have my division here. I'm going to write this as a fraction. So I can try to simplify this algebraically. So, sorry, I forgot the 2 here. Now, we can see here, 2 goes into both the denominator and the numerator here. So I can actually simplify these terms here. Now 2 goes into 2 one time, 2 goes into 4 two times. So with any fractions, we can simplify numerator and denominator in this way. Now another thing to note here is that this thing, I have 4x squared. So x squared is the same as just writing. I'll write this actually now with the simplify thing with my 4 and 2 here. I have 2x squared over x. But x squared, I can just write that as x times x. Okay, so I have 2 lots of x on the denominator and 1 lot of x on the denominator. So I actually have a common factor of x top and bottom. So I can cancel off these terms because I'm going to do a little side note here. This is like saying 2x multiplied by x on top of x. Now, x on top of x is just any number. So any number over itself, when we divide it, gives us 1. So that's why we can cancel off these things here. And we are left with, once the x's cancel, this simplifies to 2x. Now, we'll go one more example. I'll make this one a little bit more tricky. So let's go 18a squared b cubed divided by 6. We'll go 6ab. Okay, now, once again, this is a little bit annoying just to work with. We've got a lot of things across here. We have a lot of terms and we have a divided sign, which we can just, a division sign, which we can just eliminate by creating a fraction here. Now this fraction, once again, means the exact same thing as up here. These two things are identical. So once again now, I can first look at in the same way we did with multiplication, I can first consider my integers or my just regular numbers. And then followed by that, I can just group my like terms and do these divisions one by one. So how many times does 6 go into 6? Well, it goes 1 time. How many times does it go into 18? 3 times. So I can write this as 3a squared b cubed over ab. Because this 8 over 16 just simplified to 3 over 1, or just 3 on the numerator. Now, here I have 2 lots of a up here. So that will cancel with one of my a's down the bottom in the exact same way it happened in our previous example. And the same thing happens with our b's. So this b cancels with b cubed. So one of the b's here is cancelled out. So we're left with b squared. So we have 3 times a times b, or b squared. And that is our final answer. I get 3a, because the second a from the a squared, it got crossed out with our a on the denominator. And our b cubed, so our b times b times b, divided by 1b, cancelled out. So I'm left with, b times b on the numerator, or b squared. So we treat these in the exact same way. We first divide our numbers, so our non-pronumerals. We first divide our numbers, and then we divide pronumerals separately. So we can work through this particular thing one by one. You can see I've color coordinated this thing up here. That essentially is just a way of me to track my whole numbers, well, my real numbers, my non-pronumerals, and my separate pronumerals, so my a's and my b's. And I can work through these one at a time, and I can simplify it in the same way as I've done in this next line of working. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.